Welcome to this video where we're going to be speaking about an important update. We're going to try and give an overview of what we've recently been covering and then also trying to explain what is coming soon. So there's lots to talk about and hopefully this is going to be another interesting video. Let's start with the important update. In our previous video, speaking about looking for the Euphrates River in West Africa and the land of Lebanon discussion, we brought forward an interesting question, could be a very important question from one of our viewers, Panacea Solutions, and this is a short edit from the original comments. Did the Israelites cross the Jordan from west to east? And we said if this is true, it would create a major problem with the accepted narrative, what most people believe around the world for the Holy Land or the land of Canaan. And then we got a reply from a different viewer, Justice Son of Man. You should read Jubilees 50, 1-4. It clearly stated that the promised land was to the west of Jordan. The Levant is a fake location. So very strong language, but you can understand because if this question is true, you could even say it's a fundamental problem because this is about the crossing of the Jordan River and the whole story of the Exodus and Joshua and the conquest of Canaan. So it's fundamental to what the Bible is saying and the truth. Let's read from the book of Jubilees. It's the last chapter of the book. And let's read from this part here. Until they pass over into the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan to the west. So very interesting. And then I went to a different translation. This is the book of Jubilees translated from the Ethiopic, and it reads a little bit differently. Until you cross the border of the land of Canaan, crossing the Jordan on the western side. So very interesting. Does this support what Panacea Solutions is asking? Did the Israelites cross the Jordan from west to east? So looking for some help from the viewers, some more analyzing, because we've never put forward a theory for where we think the land of Jordan or the Jordan River is. And this could be crucial to trying to understand, to get to the truth for the land of Canaan. So very important. That's an update just to say, have we actually found some verses to support the question? And then we need to keep speaking, keep talking to each other to see what is the truth, because according to Justice Son of Man, the promised land was to the west of Jordan. Is that what the verses are saying? So I'm not sure. I'm going to wait for more feedback, more help from the viewers. Like we said, the more eyes that are on these verses, the better. Let's now speak about our map, our study, and try give an overview of what we've been speaking about. Let's try give an overview of what we've been speaking about, but there's also going to be an interesting update in this part as well. We've been speaking about the portion of Arphaxad according to the book of Jubilees, and also the family tree of Arphaxad, and looking for the nativity for Abraham. We said that this portion for Arphaxad is quite difficult to interpret. I found it very difficult to interpret this portion. So the way we tried to explore this was searching for the descendants of Arphaxad. We looked at some of the sons of Joktan. We spoke about the sons of Keturah. And that brought us to look in these regions here, both sides of the Red Sea. So we asked, is that actually going to point us to the portion of Arphaxad? Then we went back to the book of Jubilees to think about this portion and this first part where it says, and for Arphaxad came forth the third portion, all the land of the region of the Chaldeans to the east of the Euphrates, bordering on the Red Sea. So we note the detail about the Red Sea. So that's why we're thinking, are we looking in the right region? And one of our viewers also made mention that it also speaks about Egypt in this portion. So the fact that we have the Red Sea and Egypt, does that show that we are considering the right region? But it does create problems for our interpretation, our study, because our previous video speaking about looking to West Africa for the Euphrates River. Now with this portion for our Arphaxad, with the Chaldees to the east of the Euphrates, then we're trying to understand how the Nile River or parts of the Nile River could also be called the Euphrates, so that this makes sense, that part of this portion of Arphaxad is to the east of the Nile River, but bordering on the Red Sea. So then we would be considering Abraham's nativity being somewhere in this region. And I'll try to make it quite broad so that hopefully we do encompass or close to Abraham's nativity. But what else can we put forward to support thinking about this region for the Chaldeans? And it was Josephus from his work that told us that the Chaldeans come from Arphaxad. So this is where Panacea Solutions shared another interesting idea for us to explore. The curious case of Ethiopic Chaldean. Now it does say fraud in the title, so I'm going to draw your attention to that. Let's read this first part here. It says, an intriguing mystery in early modern intellectual history is how and why European scholars came to designate Ethiopic, the sacred language of Ethiopia, as Chaldean. So very interesting. Now it does say fraud, so I just thought it's very interesting because of what we're looking for. So it made me search further, and I came across a different source. I will put the link for this source in the description below. This part here could be important, but I just want to read this paragraph for this video. The Ethiopians call themselves Chaldeans, and Sabeans are the Chaldeans. Joseph Justus Scaliger, 1540 CE. So this is very interesting because it could help us make sense of the choice of our title for this video. Ethiopian, Sabean, Chaldean nativity. Thinking about the nativity for Abraham. So this could help us to make sense of this. Let's read further from this source. The Chaldeans that lived toward the foot of the river Euphrates were called Sabeans by the Arabians and Jews. George Mackenzie, 1711 CE. And we'll also read this last one. The Kasdim, the Chaldeans, and the Sabeans are only different names successively given to the same people. In the time of the Bible, they were called Kasdim. In the age of the Talmud, they were the Chaldeans. And later they received the name of the Sabeans. Michael Freelander, 1890 CE. So a very important source because we know that this is the region for the Sabeans. We could say both sides of the Red Sea, but being connected with the Chaldeans, but then also being connected to the Ethiopians. And does this actually make sense if we think about this for ourselves? If we go to the family tree for Arphaxad, we learn from Josephus that the Chaldeans come from Arphaxad, but we also spoke about Sheba, the son of Joktan, and when we clicked on this, it took us to the kingdom of Sheba, thinking about the Queen of Sheba and King Solomon, and it says here, the Encyclopedia Britannica posits that the biblical narrative about Sheba was based on the ancient civilization of the Sabeans. So we can see, with this family tree, the Chaldeans being connected with Arphaxad, but then also the Sabeans. And remember how we also noticed this very intriguing similarity with the family tree of Cush and Arphaxad, how we had a Sheba and Dedan brothers in the family of Arphaxad, and a Sheba and Dedan in the family of Cush. We have Havilah in the family of Arphaxad, and Havilah in the family of Cush. And Josephus, according to Josephus, he says that, or he did say in this work, that the Sabeans come from Saba, a descendant of Cush. So I think each person needs to try work this through their own mind. But can it make sense when we actually look at the map, how we have, or we're considering the portion of Arphaxad, or part of that portion for Arphaxad, as being in this region, but we very strongly in the realm or the world of Cush. So can it make sense how these families are connected? The Shemites and the Cushites. And what does it say about our question, looking in this region for the nativity of Abraham, where we're looking for the land of the Chaldeans, or the Chaldees in this region. But like we're saying, we could say we're in the world of Cush. Now we're coming across information. This one, the curious case of Ethiopic Chaldean, is it fraud, is it a hoax, or is it actually based on something which is true? And it says here, the Ethiopians call themselves Chaldeans, and Sabeans are the Chaldeans. So this could be very important for our understanding and to support what we are asking or putting forward with our map. Let's continue with the overview to speak about why we have Arphaxad in this region as well. Let's read this important Bible verse, Genesis 15:7, and this is God speaking to Abraham. And he said unto him, I am the Lord that brought thee out of Ur of the Chaldees, to give thee this land to inherit it. At this point, Abraham would be in the land, in the Holy Land, or the land of Canaan. But where is he being brought from? From Ur of the Chaldees. So that's why these videos are important, and then it also helps to see what we're saying visually. So if we write with this interpretation, with this map, Abraham being called out from this region. So we have part of the story, we have part of the identity that we've been working on so far, but we have to go further if we want to really understand the Israelites, the identity, but then also the homeland. So we also have to go on this journey coming out of Ur of the Chaldees and following Abraham, or following the Israelites with the Exodus out of Egypt. Let's go to another Bible verse. So also Genesis 15, now verse 18. In the same day the Lord made a covenant with Abram, saying, Unto thy seed have I given this land, from the river of Egypt unto the great river, the river Euphrates. So looking for this great river in West Africa, and thinking about our map, are we looking at a territory which could be described as eastward and westward? So this is the alteration that we made to our map. So if we just remind ourselves about this, how the book of Jubilees says that all the land of Lebanon came for Arphaxad, but we got more details from a chapter called Canaan Seizes Palestine Wrongfully, and it says the land of Lebanon, eastward and westward from the border of Jordan. So we can see how Jordan's going to be important for this picture, to get to the truth, to understand the land of Canaan and this territory for Lebanon. But if we focus on how it says eastward and westward, we were noting how that can make sense with our layout and with our alteration. And what we presented with the narrative that most people believe around the world, in this region, you would describe this layout or this territory as being from north to south, not eastward and westward. So that could be another discrepancy. So very interesting, because this is just a starting point to try understand the Israelites, and we try to build towards what's coming soon. So we have to leave Ur of the Chaldees and Abraham's nativity and keep searching, keep going forwards, and really thinking about the Exodus and the journey of Abraham and the conquest of Canaan by the Israelites. So I was just wondering whether this map, the way we've placed Arphaxad here. Now, I'm not trying to say that this was planned or that everything on this map is 100% accurate, but in a way, is it pointing us towards the direction we need to be looking for the homeland for the Israelites, so that we can get closer to understanding the homeland or the identity? And should we be looking to the west? This is the title for the playlist, Romans 11, the natural and wild branches. This is the plan going forwards, to study Romans 11 and the vision, seeking harmony and understanding between the natural and the wild branches. So hopefully the idea for the first few videos are making sense. Let me know what you think about the plan. So thinking about where is the Holy Land, searching for the Israelite identity, thinking about the nativity and the influence on the Israelites and Abraham with that nativity, and then continuing the search for the Holy Land, the land of Lebanon, thinking about where is the homeland for the Israelites, and will that help us understanding the culture or the identity further. So this is the plan. Hopefully, if we're able to continue making videos, I look forward to getting your feedback for this idea. Thank you to those that are liking the videos and are sharing comments, really getting involved and trying to help with the study to take it forwards. We need some help with this video as well to continue to try learn more about the Jordan or the Jordan River. I know other people are also sharing what they believe, so it is going to be difficult for us to try continue to talk to each other and be respectful, even though we do have different beliefs. But I think there is a good spirit about the channel so far, so I thank you. Well, I thank the viewers for that. So the next video will be either the introduction to Romans 11, or maybe just a short intro to introduce this. So I look forward to seeing you in the next video.